Hello my friends! Today we are gonna be building this beautiful React social media application design. It's the homepage. You can scroll to see posts. You can like or dislike posts. Here we have a sticky sidebar, and here Rightbar online friends. And we are gonna be building profile page. It's really minimal, clean and cool. Cover and profile picture here. And after that we are gonna be building login and register pages. It's similar to Facebook, but the simple version. And in this tutorial we are gonna be using totally functional React. No classes, no old and useless things, no mountings. It's gonna include everything you need to know about modern React. And the previous video, I created a social media REST API using Node.js and MongoDB. If you didn't watch it, I highly recommend. And in the next tutorial, we are gonna combine that API and this design. It's gonna be an awesome project to put your portfolio. So okay, I hope you will enjoy this tutorial. If you want to see more videos about web development, you can subscribe the channel. So if you are ready, let's get started. Okay, firstly I will create my React application here. I will say npx and create React app. And it's gonna be in this folder. Okay, during this installation, I will come here and I'm gonna choose our font family. It's gonna be Roboto. And I will choose all these straight ones. Bold and this one. Okay. So after that, I will just copy this and I'm gonna paste inside my application. It will take a little bit long, so I will stop the video. After that, I will come back. Okay, we finished the installation. Right now, I will just delete some unnecessary files here. I want here only app.js and index.js. So I will delete all of them. And inside index.js, we don't need this, and this one, and here. Okay, let's save. And for app.js, we don't need any of them. And here, we don't need class name here. And inside I will just say hello. And after that, let's go to public folder, and here icon and these logos. It's gonna be only index.html. And inside this HTML, I will delete this icon. And here, and actually we don't need any of them. It's gonna be social app. Our title, and here. Okay, it's clear right now. I can delete this also. And after that, I will just paste our font family here. Okay, so we can use this. So what I'm gonna do is creating a style file here. And I'm gonna link here. Style.css. And inside this, for whole document, I will say margin 0. And our font family will be Roboto. Okay, let's start this application. Okay, our application is ready. And it's gonna be some assets files. I will create new folder. It's gonna be assets. And here I already prepared something inside. It's gonna be some profile pictures, some posts, and here other additional images. So I will move them inside my assets. Awesome. So let's close them. We don't need them anymore. So right now I can prepare my pages and components. So inside source, I will create pages and also components. And inside pages, it's gonna be home page. Again, folder, just home. And inside home, it's gonna be home page. And it's gonna be a style file, home.css. So I will quickly create component, rfc. So it's gonna create our component here. After React 17, we don't need writing this. It's gonna import automatically. So I can delete this. Okay, let's write here. This is home page. And after that, I'm going to app.js, and instead hello, I will call my home page here. Of course, it's gonna be component like this. As you can see, this is home. Awesome. So I can close this. Okay, we added our font family, and one more thing, I will add material icons inside my application. To do that, I'm going to installation, and here I will install this library. I will just open new tab here. And after that, to use icons, I should also install this one. Or if you are using Yarn, you can use this one. It's really useful UI library. You can check here any icons, let's say home, for example, or person. And after finding your icon, you can just click and you can import to your application. And after that, I will create this library also. Okay, it's ready. Let's import this and try. I will say import, and it's gonna be person, for example, and from material UI icons. And instead of home, I will say here person. And here, as you can see, our icon is here. Okay. Let's turn this back and delete this. So what I'm gonna do is creating some components here. First one will be Topbar. And inside this, I will create my JS file. And after that, it's gonna be style file. And here I will create my component. We don't need this. Instead, I will call my Topbar CSS. Okay, I will write here Topbar. And in home.js, I will just call it this one. And let's try right now. Okay, something wrong. I forgot this dot here. It's gonna be in the same folder. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna create some other divs, but before I will give some class name for this. It's gonna be Topbar container. And inside this, I will create other divs. It's gonna be Topbar left and center and right. As you can see, it doesn't recognize it's a React file, because if I enter, it's not gonna create this div. So what I'm gonna do is changing this name to JSX. It gives some error here. I should just kill this process and start again. Yeah, and start. Right now I can write top bar and left. So it's gonna create right now. As you can see, it defines my file as a React application. Okay, let's close this again. So I'm gonna create top bar center and right also. Right, okay. In the left part, it's gonna be my logo, and here it's gonna be a search bar, really big one, and here some links here, and after that it's gonna be notification icons, and here it's gonna be profile picture. And for the left, I will create span, and it's gonna be logo. I'm not gonna use any image, I'm just gonna use this text. It's gonna be Lama social. And for the center, I'm gonna create search bar div. And inside, I'm gonna create material icon, import, and from material UI icons. And here, let's check. I will write here search. It's gonna be search. And after that, it's gonna be an input. Input, and class name will be search input. I will delete this, and instead I will give placeholder. And I will write here search for friends, posts, or any video. Okay. And for the right side, I will add some links. But before, I will create a div for these links. It's gonna be top bar links. And inside, span top bar link. It's gonna be home page. And one more, it's gonna be timeline. And after these links, there will be 3 top bar icons. Let's say person here. It's gonna be this one, but I will also use some badge here. It's gonna indicate our notification counter. So instead of adding only this person, I will create first a div. Let's say top bar icon item. And after that, let's create here person. And after that, it's gonna be a counter. Let's say span and top bar icon, let's say batch. And here I will write for now just 1. It looks pretty ugly, I know, but we will arrange this. It's gonna be our icon, and 1 will be here, somewhere here, with red background. And let's create 2 more icons here. Second will be chat, and third one will be notifications. And let's say 2, okay, it can be 1. Something like that. And after that, all icons here, I will create a profile picture. It's gonna be image and top bar image. or profile picture, doesn't matter. So I can choose one of these image, assets and inside person. They are ordered, as you can see. I will say assets and person, and let's say 1. Okay. Oh, what a beautiful girl. Okay. Let's give some style for this top bar. For top bar container, I'm gonna say height 50 pixels and width will be 100%. Background color, it's gonna be 1877 and F2. Let's see. Like this. And after that I will give display flags. And all items will be in same row. And I will say align item center. It's gonna center them vertically. And I will say position sticky and top 0. After that, this container will stick to top 0. So even if I scroll the page, it's gonna stay on the top all the time. Okay, I will give some sizes for this left, right and center. Top bar left. And I'm gonna say flags 3. And for center, let's say 5. And for the right one, it's gonna be 4. So what I did here, I just divided this container into 12 parts, and 3 of them will be left, 5 of them will be center, and 4 of them will be right one. If I give some color, you can see better, I think. Background color, let's say red. I will just copy this and change this color. Let's say something green. You can see right now because of this image. Let's say top bar image. Of course, dot here. And width, let's say 32, height 32. Right now, as you can see, it's gonna be 3 unit, it's gonna be 5 unit, and right one will be 4 unit. Let's delete them again. Okay, for this logo, top bar logo, or it was just logo. Okay. I will say font size 24 pixels. And I will give some margin to left. It's gonna be 20. And font weight will be bold. Let's see first. Like this. And color will be white. Awesome. And I will give also a cursor pointer. Nice. Let's create this search bar. It was under center. Search bar. It's gonna be width 100%. It's gonna be cover whole center here. Height maybe 30 pixels. And background color will be white. Like this. I can give some border radius. Let's say 30 pixels. Okay. But as you can see, they are not centered. I will center them. Display flags and align items center. Awesome. So right now I can change this font size of this icon and I can give some margin. What was our class name? We didn't give. Let's give class name. It's gonna be search icon. I will copy this, and here after search bar I will say font size, it's gonna be 20 pixels. But if I do that, it's not gonna be any changing here because it's a material icon. To apply my property here, I should say important. Right now it's smaller. I will give some margin left, and let's say 10. Okay, nice. So for this input, class name search input, I will say border none, and I will make this a little bit longer, 70%, like this. So there is no border right now. When I click this, I don't want this outline also. So what I'm gonna do is saying search input again, and here it's gonna be focus, outline, it's gonna be none. So right now there is no outline. Awesome. Let's arrange here. After right side, I will make this display flags. I should make this display flags also. It looks really strange. But before, I will say align item center. It's gonna center them vertically, and justify content, it's gonna be space between. So first element will be here, and last element will be end of the right. Maybe I can do this space around. It's gonna give some space here and here. Awesome. And I can change text color here. Good. I will say top bar link. I will give some margin. So margin right, let's say 10. And font size will be 14 pixels. And cursor pointer. Perfect. And for top bar icons, which is the container of icons, I will say display flags. Right now it's gonna be better, like this. And for top bar icon items, let's check here. This item, this container of the icon and this page. I will say margin right 15, and cursor will be pointer, and I will say position relative. Because this page will be absolute, so we can position this page according to top bar icon item. So let's do this. I will say top bar icon page. I will say 15, height 15, and background color will be red, and border radius will be circle, and font color will be white. I will say position absolute. Right now it's gonna be circle, and here I will change this position. Let's say top -5 pixels and right -5 pixels. It's gonna be somewhere here like this. I will center this item inside this and justify content center. Awesome. But font size is a little bit big. It's gonna be 12, like this. It looks really nice. And for this image, I will make this circle, border radius 50%, and I will add object fit. It's gonna be cover. So this image will cover all this screen, this container. And after that, cursor pointer. If I don't write here object width, it's gonna look really strange like this. So I should do this, it's gonna look better. So awesome, we completed our top bar here. So I can close them. After that, what I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be left bar here, sidebar, and here it's gonna be our feeds, and here some right bar. Let's create them in the component. It's gonna be sidebar and another feed and right bar. I will create them quickly. JSX, and it's gonna be style file feed.css, and for right bar CSS, and for the left bar I can rename this as left bar, but anyway. And lastly, sidebar.css. Okay, I will close this. And here, let's create our component, rfc. It's gonna be our style CSS, sidebar.css. I will close this for now. It looks really messy here. And for right bar. So if you don't have this extension, it's AX7 React Redux GraphQL snippets. You can install this and you can look here with shortcuts they have. So I will write here .rightbar.css and write here rightbar. And for the feed, RFC again, and here my CSS file. By the way, using CSS in the React application, it's not the best idea. I highly recommend to use Sass or style components, but it's the basic one. Everyone knows this, so I'm gonna keep doing this. Okay, let's write here feed. Okay, here's the thing. If I write here sidebar, I should call this, of course. As you can see, there is an error here because I can't use multiple components separately. So what I'm gonna do is writing here fragments, and here I will close it. Okay, right now there is no error. You can write here also any div, container or something and move this inside. But I don't want to create any div. Using fragments is really useful. I highly recommend this. Here will be sidebar, feed and right bar. To do that, I should have some container here and I should make it display flex. Let's do this. I will create home container here. I can't do this because it's not JSX. Let's change. And inside sidebar, and after that it's gonna be feed and right bar. I will add them also. And here right bar. They should be lowercase. Okay, let's see. Okay, I will just restart this. And I will close this one. Okay, I will make this display flags. Home CSS and home container. It's gonna be display flags. And here I should import it. Home.css. Let's see. Awesome. So I'm gonna give some width for this container, 100%. And after that, I will just give some sizes for this feed, Rightbar and Sidebar. Let's open them. I will say here Sidebar. And for feed, and for Rightbar, it's gonna be class name Rightbar. Right now I will give sizes for them. Sidebar, it's gonna be a dot, of course. And here I will say flags 3, and for the feed, flags 5, and for the Rightbar, it's gonna be flags 4. Let's see. Awesome. Maybe I can make this bigger and this is smaller. I don't wanna give 3, but it can be 3.5, and it may be 5.5. Okay, good. Of course, instead giving flags, you can give also maybe 25%, 50%, 25%, something like that. But writing flags is better idea. You can split this container as many pieces as you want. In the example, we just split it as 12 pieces. Okay, I will add here height. If I write here 100 VH, it's gonna overflow here because it's under this top bar. So what I'm gonna do is I will just calculate 100 VH minus 50 pixels because our top bar is 50 pixels. Right now there is no problem. Let's write here background color. Oops, I said border. As you can see, it's 100%. Okay, so I will create some wrapper inside this sidebar. And I will give some padding for this. Let's make this here and close this. And this one, okay. If I say padding 20 pixels and give some background color and write something inside this wrapper, as you can see, it has its own padding here. If I write padding for this sidebar, I can disfigure this display flags. So this is why I'm writing here display wrapper. So let's create some UL here. It's gonna be sidebar list. And inside sidebar list item. And inside this item, there will be some icon and text. Let's call here our material icon. From material icons. And here, let's check. I will say feed. And after that, it's gonna be a text. Sidebar list item text feed, and I will give some class name for this. Okay, let's see. Oh, I forgot code here. Okay, something like that. So I will create another items. I don't want to waste your time, so I will just finish this list and come back. Okay, I finished. I added some additional icons and text here. So let's go to the CSS. And firstly, I will just delete this. And after that, sidebar list. It's gonna be padding 0, margin 0, and list style, it's gonna be none. I don't want these dots here. It's gonna be disappear like this. Awesome. For this list item, I will say display flags and align items center. They are centered right now. And I will give some margin between each other. Margin bottom, let's say 20. Awesome. And for this icon and this text, I will give some margin also. Sidebar icon, margin right, let's say 15. Okay, good. And after that, I will create some button here. After UL, I will say button, and class name, it's gonna be sidebar button. And I will write here show more. And after that, I will write here HR. It's gonna add some line here, like this. I will change this style also. So I will give some class name, sidebar HR. And after that, I will create another list. It's gonna be sidebar friend list. And inside this, ally and sidebar friend. And this item will contain our friend images. Let's add class name and sidebar profile picture, our friend image. Let's make this capital. Okay. And after this image, it's gonna be this user's name, span, and class name, sidebar friend name. Let's write here Jane Doe. And for this source, I can add my assets and person, and let's say 2.jpg. Okay, there's a typo here, assets. Oh, some albino guy. Okay, let's arrange them. I will make this button first, sidebar button, and width will be 150. I don't want any border. It's gonna be none. And I will give some padding, and border radius can be 5 pixels. And font weight 500. Let's see. Something like that. But it's not 500. Let's check for. Okay. Okay, anyway, I thought 500 is a little bit thicker, but it's okay. And I will do this HR. I will give just some margin from top and bottom. And for left and right, it's gonna be 0. Like this. It looks really long because of this image. I'm gonna make first the sidebar list, friend list, padding 0, margin 0, and list style will be none, without any dots, and sidebar friend list item. It was item or okay, just friend. I will make this display flex because I wanna this image and text in same row, and after that align item center, and I will give some margin bottom. I will separate them, and after that I can play with this image. Sidebar friend image 32, height 32, and it's gonna be a circle 50%, and of course it should be cover, and I will give some space between this image and text. Margin right 10 pixels. Let's see right now. As you can see, it's so much better. So I will give more items inside this list. I will just duplicate this like that. But I don't want to scroll all of these items. So what I'm gonna do is saying here overflow scroll. So after that it's gonna be again height 100 VH, but instead scrolling here we can scroll this side. What I mean by that, let's do this. I will write here overflow, y-axis, it's gonna be scroll. As you can see. Awesome. But it looks pretty ugly, so I will change something inside this scroll bar. To do that, I should use WebKit, and it's gonna be scroll bar, and I will say width 5 pixels, and I will duplicate this and change something else. It's gonna be scroll bar track, and it's gonna be top. I will explain this, don't worry. I will say here background color, let's say something whitish, and here background color, it can be gray, but maybe softer one like this. Let's see. As you can see, our width is 5 pixels right now, and track color is this white color, and thumb color, which is this part, is gray. It looks much better. Perfect. So I'm gonna close this sidebar, and here open this feed and CSS. Okay. I'm gonna add here wrapper again. Feed wrapper, and inside here I will say padding 20. Okay, instead writing everything inside this feed, I will create other components. It's gonna be share components here, which we can share our posts. So I'm gonna create share component, share, and inside share JSX, and after that CSS. I will create this function, and here my CSS file, share, share.css. Okay. Hey, it's share. So I will call this here. Let's see. Awesome. So I can close here. So I will close them also. And this feed CSS. Okay. So firstly, it's gonna be our container share, and here it's gonna be our wrapper. And I will create two other divs, share top and bottom. And top will include our profile picture here and some input, and for the share bottom there will be some options here like add image or video, tag your friends, map, something like that. And finally we will have share button here. Okay. Let's create this image. Assets and person. It's gonna be first one. And I will just write class name, share profile picture or image. And after that I will create an input here, and class name will be share input. And instead of this I will give placeholder. So what's in your mind? Safak. Okay, this is my name. And between this top and bottom I will give HR here and class name share HR. And after that I can create here option container, share options, and inside I will create share option, and first one will be span and photo or video. Let's write or video. Okay. Of course, class name here, share option text. And before that I will add material icon, import from material icons, and here I will choose, let's check here, I will write media and this one. And class name, it's gonna be share icon. Let's see. Oh, you again. What a coincidence. Okay, let's go to shared CSS, and here for container share I will say with 100%, and height will be 170, and I will give some border radius, let's say 10 pixels, and I will give for now a background color so we can see it. Of course I will just comment this out, this beautiful woman, something like that. So instead of this background color I will search for here CSS box shadow generator. I will choose this one, and here I can generate my own box shadow, something like that. Let's make it white. Okay. Let's try this. I will copy this and paste here. I can change this, I didn't like it. It's gonna be 0. Something like that. Okay, it's better. So I will give some padding for wrapper. Padding 20. Maybe it's too much. 10. Okay. So I will comment on this image. My love. Okay. Here I will say width 50, height 50, and border radius 50%. And object width will be cover. And I will give space between this text, this input, margin right, 10 pixels. Good. I'm gonna center them. Share top, display flags, and align item center. Good. For this share input, I'm gonna delete this border, and I will make this bigger, like that. For focus, I can delete this outline also. Sorry, focus. And outline none. Good. I can give some margin for this HR. $20. Perfect. I will write here share bottom. It's gonna be display flags, align item center, and I will say justify content and space between. Let's check here what we have. For this container, I will say display flags again. And for the option, this icon and this text, it's gonna be flags again and center. Like this. And for the others, I will give some margin. 15. And cursor pointer. Let's add more here. Something like that. But I want to give some margin here. It will start underneath this HR. So here I will say margin right, sorry, left 20. Like this. Okay. Let's write here share icon, font size 18, size, and I will give margin between this icon and text. Nothing happened, we didn't give any class name. Oops, what did I write here? And they are also should be capital N. Let's see. Okay. So I will write another icons here. It's gonna be label and room and emoji emotions. and room and emoji. And I will write here tag, and this one will be location, and here maybe feelings. Like that. But I want to change these colors. To do that, I can use HTML color for these material icons. And I will say for this tomato, I will copy and paste this. And this one will be blue and green, and let's say golden. Oops, there is no golden. Maybe golden rod. Okay, it looks much better. So I will change this text. Share, what was the name? Option text. And font size, let's say 14. And font weight will be a little bit thicker. Okay, so I'm gonna create a button here. After this container, I will say button, oops, and class name will be share button. And inside I will say share. I don't want any border again. And padding 7, border radius 5 pixels. Let's see first, like this. And background color green. Font weight 500. I just wonder, did I add here 500 or not? Because it looks really strange. Index HTML. Aha! I knew this. I will just add here 0,500. Okay, right now this and this is 500. So I will give margin here also, margin right 20, and cursor will be pointer, and text color will be white. Okay, perfect. So it looks pretty good. So I can create some posts here. So I will create another component. I will close this, and here, new folder, post, post JSX, and post.css. And here my CSS file. Hello, okay, and after this feed, I will add just post. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this, and here class name will be post, and of course again our wrapper, because we are giving paddings. And I'm gonna split this wrapper into 3 pieces. So it's gonna be post top, center, and bottom. So here for top, it's gonna be profile picture, username, and it can be some date here, like 1 day ago, 2 weeks ago. And here it's gonna be option button or something like that. And for the center, it's gonna be our post, text or any image here. And for the bottom, it's gonna be our like icons and like counter. And here it's gonna be maybe comment indicator or something like that. Let's write here. It's gonna be post left, sorry, top left and right, because I'm gonna say justify content space between. Our image and name will be here and this icon will be here. And for the left, let's give this image, assets, person 1, and class name will be post profile image. After that, it's gonna be our name, let's say span, post username, my name here, and after that it's gonna be some date here, 5 minutes ago, and it's gonna be post date. Okay, and after that I will create here some material icon, and it's gonna be more vertically, and from material icons, and I will write this here. Okay, I will make this display flex and I will move this icon here. Let's do that. Firstly, I'm gonna give some shadow for container, but first let's say 100 and border radius 10 pixels. And in the share, I will use same shadow. I will just copy this and paste here. Like that. I can give some margin. Margin for top and bottom 30 and for left and right 0. Perfect. For wrapper, I will give our padding. Padding 10. Okay, good. Let's write here post top. It's gonna be display flags, align item center, and justify content. As I said, it's gonna be a space between. Perfect. But we can't see our image. Something is wrong. Why I am writing these assets? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. For the left, I should make display flex also, because I will center this profile picture and username like this. Okay. Post profile image 32, make this circle, and object with cover. Good. For post username, I will say font size 15 and font weight will be 500, and margin will be, I will give margin from left and right, so I will say margin 0 and 10 pixels. Awesome. For this post date, font size will be small. Okay. And after that, I will save, and here let's do for center. I will add here span, and it's gonna be post text. Oops. Hey, it's my first post. And after that, I can add some image. What's going on? It's not reading this. It takes time. Assets. Oh, finally correct. And here post, and let's say 1. Okay, of course, wrong. Oh god, again something wrong here. Okay, I will give class name, post image, and after that let's do for bottom. I will say post bottom, and it's gonna be left and right. Left will contain our like icons and counter, and right will be comments. Okay, image, assets, and what was the name? Heart PNG and like PNG. Okay. Heart PNG. Something like that. I will give class name. It's gonna be like icon. And after that, it's gonna be my counter. Let's write here post like counter. And let's say 32 people liked it. Or like it. And for the right one, again span, and class name will be post comment text 9 comments. Okay, let's start with center. Margin top and bottom will be 20, and right and left 0. And post image, margin top 20 pixels, and width will be 100%. Like this. And I will give max height here, because for example, if we upload really huge height image, it's gonna cover whole screen. It's gonna be really big. So I will write here max height, let's say 500 pixels. And I will say object feed. Right now it's not gonna be cover, I will say contain. Because when we upload vertical image, if I use cover, it's gonna crop the image and it's gonna look really ugly. If I say cover, it's gonna look smaller, but we can see all image. Okay. After that, I will write post bottom, display flags, align item center, justify content, space between. So we separated them. Post bottom left. It's gonna be display flags. Okay, we centered them also. And I will write here like button. It was button or icon? It was icon, I think. Let's make them smaller. And I will give space between each other and cursor pointer. Perfect. And for this text, post counter, post like counter, font size 15. Okay, I will give some properties for this command. Post comment text. It's gonna be cursor pointer. And for border bottom, I will say 1 pixel and dashed, and let's say gray. Maybe font size 15 also. Okay. So if I go to feed and duplicate this post, we can see all posts inside this feed. Perfect. And after end of the design, we will give all data inside this post. For example, hello, it's my first post, and this one, second post, and we will change all these images and texts here, maybe likes, dynamically. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, let's create this Rightbar. Okay, quickly right here, Rightbar and wrapper. And inside this, I will say birthday container. It's gonna be image, assets, birthday.png, and class name will be birthday image. And here I will add span, and class name will be birthday text. And here Paula Foster and 3 other friends have a birthday today. So I'm gonna make this bold and this one also, so we can click them. Like this, birthday, it's not PNG, gift.png. Okay, let's arrange them. I will write Rightbar wrapper. So right now we already have some space here, so I'm not gonna give space for left, and instead I will give for just top and right. So I will say padding for top, for right, and bottom and left. Let's make this image smaller. maybe 40. But something wrong here. I have probably typo. Right bar. Okay, awesome. So I will give some margin right here. It's gonna be separated. Let's give dot here. Okay. After that, I will write birthday text. I will say font weight 300. It's gonna be lighter, and font size 15. Good, but they are not centered. What was our container? And this, and here I will say display flags, align item center. Awesome. So let's add some advertisement here so we can earn some money. And class name will be Rightbar ad. And what was our image name? Ad.png. Okay, it's really huge. So I will copy this and here width 100%, and I will give some border radius. Let's say 10 pixels. And I will give some margin for top and bottom. Awesome. So after that, I will add here h4 tag. And it's gonna be Rightbar title. And I will write here online friends. And after that, I'm gonna create my list, my online friends list. Friend list. And after that, Rightbar friend. And again, I'm gonna use something like these pages. So I should create some container here. So I will do that container position relative. And after that, I can use this badge as position absolute. Okay. So Rightbar image container. Let's say profile image container. And inside I will add my image, class name, Rightbar profile image, and I will say assets and person folder and 3.jpg. And after that I can create my online badge. I will say span and class name will be Rightbar online. Padding 0, margin 0. So don't forget, whenever you use a list, a UL, you should write padding and margin 0 because it has default margin and padding. So I will say list style none. And Rightbar friend, it's gonna be display flags. And I will give margin bottom. And what was this container? It's really long, but if we are using CSS, we should write long, otherwise they're gonna be conflicted. Okay, I will say margin right 10 and position relative. Okay, for this image, profile image, and width 40, height 40, border radius 50, and object width is gonna be cover. And we didn't give any name, we forgot this. After this image container, I will say span and class name Rightbar username, and it's gonna be, let's say, John Carter. Who was this guy, by the way? It was NBA player or something? It just came my mind. Okay. So let's give this online status. I will say Rightbar online. Oops. And with 12, height 12, it's gonna be circle. And background color, let's say green or green yellow. Or let's try lime green. Let's say position absolute. Okay, it's here. I will just position this here. Top -2 and right will be 0. Oops, we didn't do this relative. Yes, we did. So it means this container contain whole this screen. So something is wrong here. Oh, it is. Okay, awesome. So I will give some border also. For this one, I will say border 2 pixels and solid and white. Like that. It's so much better. And for the username, I will just say font weight 500, like this. But for this title, I should give some margin also. Oh, I didn't write anything here. Before this list, after this add, I will say Rightbar title and margin bottom 20. Okay. I will give more example. Let's make this multiple times. Okay, awesome. So we finished our layout. It looks really impressive. So I will give some functionalities, some dynamic data, and maybe we can just increase this counter or something. And the next tutorial, we will apply our social media API, and it's gonna be a complete social media application. So I created some dummy data here. It's gonna contain our users with ID, profile picture, and usernames. And after that, it's gonna be a post and all these properties here. So how I'm gonna use this? Let's go to feed. And instead writing all posts like this, I will come here and import this data. It's gonna be only posts from. It's gonna be dummy data. Okay. And right here, I'm gonna use map. I will say posts and map. And for each post, I'm gonna return something. What I'm gonna return? just a post. And inside this post, I will send this single post. I will say post, and it's gonna be P. So I should indicate here K also, because we are using map, and it's gonna be p.id, because all data here, all posts, have some ID. It should be unique. Okay, so I can go to post. I will take this post. Let's try here first what we have. See, console and .log, and I'm gonna open my browser. I will say inspect, and as you can see, our all posts are here. Perfect. So how I'm gonna use this? I will come here and say post.date, and here it's gonna be post and description, but I will say here question mark, because some of these posts doesn't have any description. For example, this one, it has only photo. Okay. After that, it's gonna be just here post.like, and here post.comment. Let's try. And as you can see, our new description, new date, and new photo. Okay, they are not unique because I forgot here. I will delete this, and here post and photo. Let's see. Okay, awesome. And here 4 hours ago, 5, 1 day, and some of them have this description. Awesome. But as you can see, it's only Safak and here this same profile picture. And there is some problem with this avatars also. We are gonna fix this. But before, how I'm gonna fetch this data? I will come here, and here we just fetch this post, and here I will fetch this users, and here let's try to find the username which has ID number 1. I will say const, and let's say user. I will use users, and I will use filter, and for each user, if user ID equals 1, it's gonna assign this user to here. So I will just console log this, and I will come and inspect. As you can see, we found this user. Okay, if I say here first element and username property, let's see. Right now we found this name. So I'm gonna use this method. Because our post array here includes user ID, I will just filter this user ID and find actual user. So here I will say users.filter and user.id equals post.userid. And after I will just take first element and say username. I will just refresh here also. And as you can see, we have different users. So I will do the same thing for these avatars. So I will copy this, and for image source I will paste, and it's gonna be profile picture. Let's see. Okay, I don't need refreshing. As you can see, they changed. Awesome. And right now we are able to add post in a dynamic way. Of course, it's just a file, but in this tutorial we just design our application. In the next lesson we are gonna be fetching our own data from our API. Okay, perfect. So let's fix this, because our top bar behind this image, and also I will fix here. It's gonna be fixed position. We shouldn't see this space. Okay, let's do this first. I will come to sidebar and say position sticky, and top will be 50 pixels. Let's see. And right now, as you can see, this container is sticky, and we can move here this scroll. Awesome. And what about this one? I will go to top bar, CSS of course, and I will just say set index, and it's gonna be over everything. Awesome. So we fixed these two issues, and after that I'm gonna make this online friends dynamic also. So I will go to Rightbar, and inside this I will close them. So instead of writing these list items, I will just delete and leave just one of them. Okay. So we are gonna make exactly the same thing. I will just import users from dummy data. So I can use here this users map, but I'm gonna just cut this and create another component here. It's gonna be online. Online.jsx and online.css. I will create my function, my CSS file here, and here I will just paste it. And I'm gonna take this user as a parameter, and here I will say users.map, and for each user I'm gonna return online component, and I'm gonna pass this user. Of course I should give key here, and it's gonna be user.id. Okay, so what I'm gonna change here, it's gonna be user.username, and this picture user.profile picture. Let's see. Awesome. So we can delete this suffix here because it's our user, but it's not important for now. And also I will move this CSS here. Rightbar. What was our properties? It starts from friend and Rightbar username. Here, and I will take this and I will paste inside online. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, awesome. So I will do the same thing here. This time I will choose Sidebar and I will delete these allies. I will leave only one of them. And this one will be our component. I will create here new folder and it's gonna be close friends or just friend, and inside close friend.jsx and CSS. I will create quickly this function and here my CSS. Of course here dot, and I will paste this li. And I'm gonna move these CSS files. Okay, these two. I will copy and close this one, and inside this CSS I will paste. So we are gonna take this user, and here it's gonna be again user.profile picture, and here user and username. So here I will just copy this and paste right here. And I'm gonna use this user dot map, and for each user it's gonna return our new component. And I will send this user. Of course it's not user, users. And here I should add key. It's gonna be user and ID. Let's save this. And here we change every users. Awesome. So we have one more thing to do here. I'm gonna give some functionality for these buttons. So when I click one of them, this number will be increased. And if you already like this, when I click them, it's gonna decrease. So how I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna use here useState hook. So I'm gonna say here const, and it's gonna be like and set like, and I'm gonna use useState. And inside this useState, I'm gonna indicate here our initial state. So it's gonna be post.like, which is like number. So here, instead of post like, I will just say like. So it's gonna be exactly the same thing. As you can see, nothing has changed. If I write here initial state, for example, 1, as you can see, okay, I will just turn back. And I'm gonna create one more useState. And it's gonna be is liked. And here set is liked. And our initial state will be false because we didn't like any post. So for these buttons, I'm gonna write here click event. So I will say on click. So whenever I click this button, I will call this function. It's gonna be like handler. And here, copy and paste for this one also. There is an error here because we don't have this function. Let's create here. I will say const like handler. It's gonna be a arrow function, and inside this I'm gonna create a logic here. I'm gonna say set like because we are gonna change this like, and new like is gonna change according to our logic. What I mean by that? I will say if is liked, which means we already liked this post. I'm gonna say like -1. So if you didn't like before, it's gonna be like +1. Let's save and see this. Okay, I'm clicking. As you can see, it increased. So if I click again, as you can see, it's always increasing. That because our is like here is still false. So what I'm gonna do is changing this value. So I will say set is like, and it's gonna be total opposite of the previous value. So I will say is liked. So if it's true, when I click one of these buttons, it's gonna be false. If it's false, when I click, it's gonna be true. Let's try. I will save. And here I will refresh. Okay, I'm clicking 33, clicking again 32. Awesome. So I hope you understood this part. It's really easy. So after completing our home page, I'm gonna create a profile page. So I will close these components, and here pages, I'm gonna create new folder here, profile, and inside this it's gonna be profile, JSX, and CSS. I will create my function RFC, my CSS. Let's write here something, and app.js. Instead of home, I'm gonna call this new profile. Okay, let's see. Perfect. So I will close this and open home. Let's remember what we had here. Our top bar, sidebar, feed, rightbar. And it was a container here. So I will copy this and paste here, and I will do some changes. Of course, I should import these components. I will just copy this and okay. So I will make some changes. I'm not saving. It's gonna be top bar here, sidebar will be same, and here it's gonna be cover picture, and somewhere here our profile picture, our username, maybe description, and after that it's gonna be feed here, and we are gonna be changing something inside Rightbar. So I'm gonna change this. It's gonna be profile. It will be display flex, but this time it's gonna be two part, sidebar and feed and rightbar together. So I'm gonna write here container profile, let's say right, and it's gonna cover these two components. So I'm gonna split this also, profile right, let's say top, and it's gonna be bottom, and these components will be inside this bottom. Okay, let's write here something and go to the CSS Here, profile will be display flags again. And if you remember homepage, it was flags 3, and we split it whole container into 12 pieces. So if it's 3, our profile right will be 9. Let's say flags 9. Perfect. They are inside in a column because we didn't say display flags. Let's say profile bottom. It's gonna be display flags. Okay, it was not bottom. Profile right bottom. Okay. It looks similar, but there is a difference here. We have something here before this feed and right bar. So let's make this a little bit fancier. Inside top, I will delete this, and I'm gonna create cover picture here, and let's say assets, and maybe post. I don't wanna use person here, and let's say 3. And it's gonna be class name profile cover image. So I will duplicate this, and it's gonna be, let's say, user image. It's gonna be our avatar. So person, and let's say 7. But we need additional thing here because it's gonna be our cover profile picture, and additionally I'm gonna add my username and my description. So instead of this, I will create one more div, profile cover, and it's gonna contain these 2 images. Okay, and after this div I will create profile info, and inside this info, let's say h4, and it's gonna be my name, and class name, let's say profile info name. I will write again, and it's gonna be description, let's say desk, and instead of h4 it's gonna be span or p, whatever you want. And here let's write something different. Hello my friends. Okay. So I'm gonna come here, and after that I will write here profile cover, and height will be 320, and position will be relative because our profile picture will be absolute. So after that, profile cover image width will be 100%, and height, let's say 250, and object width cover, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna put my profile picture somewhere here. Profile, what was the name? User image. I will say width 1.500, height will be same, and border radius 50%, object width cover. So I'm gonna say position absolute. So if I write here left 0 and right 0, and margin auto, it's gonna be center of this container. Let's see, like this. So I'm gonna give some top here. I can make this in the middle of this container, but I don't wanna do that. Let's say something different. Let's say top 150. Awesome. So I'm gonna give some border here. Border 3 pixels, solid and white. Good. So let's make this username and description. Profile info. I will say display flags. Flags direction will be column. And I will center them. Perfect. So I will write here profile info name, which is our username. Let's say font size a little bit big. Okay. And for this description, I will just decrease this font weight. Profile info description, font weight 300. Good. So it looks pretty good. So you can see here how important separate all these containers. They are reusable right now. We can use them in every pages. So in the profile page, showing any birthday or online friends or something like that is not good way. So I will change here. I'm gonna create a logic here. So in the profile, I will write here profile. So these probes will indicate this right bar in the profile page or the home page. So I will go to Rightbar, Components, and Rightbar. I will take this probe, profile. If I go to home page here, it has Rightbar also, but we didn't send any probes here. So in the other word, Rightbar will look this one. So Rightbar will say, okay, someone called me, but they didn't give me any property here. So it means it's home page. I will write them. And for this scenario, it's gonna look here. Okay, there is profile. It means I'm in the profile page. So I'm not gonna write them. So I will copy this. Here. So I'm gonna create inner components here. I will say const and home Rightbar. It's gonna return. I will write here my fragments because there will be multiple components or divs. Let's write here. So I will do the same thing for profile page. Const profile Rightbar. And it's gonna return, let's say h1. Hey, it's profile. So if I write here inside this wrapper profile Rightbar, let's check. As you can see. So if it's not profile page, I will send here home Rightbar. As you can see. Awesome. It's really useful. So I'm gonna return here profile Rightbar. And inside this, let's create something different. Okay, inside this, I will just say first user information title. and class name Rightbar title. And after that, I'm gonna create a div. It's gonna be our info container, Rightbar info. And this info will include city here and hometown, and after that relationship. So I will say Rightbar info item and span Rightbar info, let's say K. It's gonna be st and New York. And here I will say value. So I will copy this and paste. Let's say from here Madrid and relationship single. Something like that. Okay, it looks really basic, but we will change them. And after that, I'm gonna create another title here. User friends. Let's say here Rightbar, not friends, maybe followings. And inside it's gonna be each individual followings. So Rightbar following. And inside this, it's gonna one image and one username. So I will create image and Rightbar following image and source assets and person, and let's choose first one. And after that, it's gonna be username span following name and John Carter. So there will be 6 items. Let's change these images. Of course, we are gonna create component. We are not gonna make this manual, but for now it's okay. Let's see. Okay, I will close this, and here Rightbar CSS. I will say Rightbar title, font size 18 and font weight 500, and I will give some margin bottom like this. And after that, and before everything inside, I just want to make these images because they look really huge. What was the class name? Rightbar following image. I will say 100, object fit cover, and I will give border radius. It's gonna be 5. Okay. So I will give some margin here. Rightbar info and margin bottom 30. So for every item, I will give margin also. Rightbar info item, let's say 10. Okay, it's lowercase. Okay, So what was our class name here? For this T, Rightbar info key, font weight 500, and I will give margin right 15, and color will be a little bit softer, let's say 555. Okay, for these values, font weight 300. Awesome. So let's arrange here. Rightbar followings. This container, it's gonna be flags. If I do this flags, it's gonna overflow on the x-axis like this. So what I'm gonna do here, I will say flags wrap, and it's gonna be wrap. And I will say justify content space between. We can't see anything because this image and text together is really long. So I will say every following. Display flags, but this time flags direction will be column. Awesome. I will give margin. And I will say cursor pointer. It really looks good. It's really minimal. I like it. It's better than Facebook, I think. And remember, using components, separate them is really important. And for here, for example, if you separate this advertisement, for example, here, if you make this any other component, you can use for here also. It's really nice right now. So we finished our home page and our profile page. I will take a little bit break, and after that we are gonna be building our register page and login page. Okay, I came back. I hope you missed me. Okay, let's create our login and register page. I will close this component, and here, pages, new folder, and it's gonna be login. And inside login.js and login style. Let's close them. Oops, I closed login. Okay, here I will create my function. And quickly my style. And here I will create my container. Class name will be login. And inside login, it's gonna be a wrapper. Login wrapper. And after that, I'm gonna split this wrapper. Login left and right. And inside this, I'm gonna write my application name. It's gonna be h3 and logo. Actually, login logo. And I will say Lama social. And after that, I'm gonna create a description. Span and login description. Oops. Span. Okay. And inside this, I'm just gonna steal from Facebook. It was Facebook here and I changed. It's really original right now. And after that, I'm gonna create a box inside this right. Login box. Okay. To see that, I'm going to app.js, and instead profile, I'm writing login. I should just import this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's our login page. So I'm going to CSS and I will write here login. It's gonna be our big container and width will be contain whole width and height age and background color. I will steal from Facebook also and F5. And I will say display flags, align item center, and justify content center. Right now it's gonna come here. I will write here login wrapper, width 70%, height 70%. Let's give some background. Like this. Awesome. So I should make this flags also, and I will split this. I will delete this and display flags. And after that, I will say login left and login right. Flags will be same. So we are gonna split this on the middle. Half is here and half is right part. And I will say display flags also, but this time flags direction will be column and justify content center again. It's gonna come here. Okay. So for the logo, I will say font size, it's gonna be really big. And font weight will be bold, something like this. And color will be Facebook color. I'm gonna say 1775EE. Awesome. So I can give some margin and write here login description. And it's gonna be font size 24 pixels. Good. So I will write something inside this right part. It's gonna be input and login input. I will write here email and placeholder. And one more time, this time it's gonna be password. And after that, I will create a button. And it's gonna be login button. I will say log in. I can create some span here. Login forgot, and it's gonna include our forgot password text. And finally, I will create one more button. And it's gonna be login register button. Create a new account. Okay, I'm going to CSS. And here, login box. I will say height 300. And I will give some padding inside. Background color white. Let's see, something like that. I can give border radius 10 pixels, and I will say display flags and flags direction column. Awesome. So I can give justify content and space between. Good. Right now, I'm gonna just handle this login input height will be 50, and border radius 10 pixels, and border 1 pixel solid, and it's gonna be gray. I will just increase font size 18 pixels. Let's see first. I will give some padding here, padding left 20. Perfect. So I'm gonna create my login button. But before, if you check here, it's gonna be some outline here. To prevent this, I will say login button and focus and just remove this outline. Oh, why I said button here? Input. Awesome. So for this button, height will be 50 again. And border radius. And I don't want any border. None. And background color, this blue one. Okay, let's change this text. Color white. And font size 20 pixels and font weight 500. Awesome. I will create cursor pointer, and here login forgot. I will say text align center. Awesome. And font color will be again this blue. Okay. And for the register button, I'm just gonna copy this actually. Oops. Inside. What happened? Okay, copy paste is not good idea. And here I will say 42p72a. But I will do this a little bit smaller. 50%. And I wanna center this also. To do that, I can't write here text align. And instead I will say align self center. Okay. Maybe it can be 60. Okay, it's nice. So I think we finished our login page. Let's create register page. I don't want to make something different. I don't want to waste time. So I will just copy this and paste. And it's gonna be register. Of course you can change, but it's not that important. It's just a register. And if you look at the Facebook, it sucks also. They don't care about login and register. Okay, here I will say register, and here I will change. I can write here something different, but I don't care. I will delete this. I will say sign up, and here log into your account, or just account. Let's see, I will change this. It's gonna be register. Let's try. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. So I will change something here. I will add 2 more inputs, and here username and password, and here password again. It looks really strange, so I'm gonna change this height. Where was this box? Here. I will say 50, maybe 400. Okay, it's nice. Everything works perfectly. So I will write here homepage again. Oops, it shows up. Wait. Where was this Rightbar? Here, profile. I didn't add here this logic. I will say if there is profile, add this one. If it's not, add home Rightbar. Let's see right now. Awesome. So let's take care of these errors here. Defined, never used. It's talking about them. Right now, compiled successfully. Okay, everything works right now. And we finished our React application design. And we also gave some functionalities here and some dynamic data. It looks pretty good. And previous tutorial, we finished our API. And the next tutorial, we are gonna combine this design and that API. It's gonna be complete, awesome application. You can put this into your portfolio directly. It's gonna be a really impressive project for your job applications. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the next episode because we are gonna be covering all these fetch data operations and React routers, React hooks. In a nutshell, everything you need to know about React. Don't forget to check the description below. You can find the source code also. And one more thing, I created Facebook page. If you write there Lama Dev, you can find this page. If you follow this, I would be appreciated. I'm gonna try to share something useful for you. There is nothing right now, but in the future it's gonna fire. And also I'm gonna create a Facebook group. I'm gonna just announce from this page. You can attend this group also and you can share your codes, questions or whatever about web development. And also for this YouTube channel, it would be really nice if you subscribe and like the video. So that's all I think. I hope I will see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.